Okay, this is lesson 17. We're going to be learning about adding and subtracting positive and negative whole numbers, integers. So, in previous lessons we've talked about a 2, red 2 being a positive 2, and a green 2 as a negative 2. A positive 2 and a negative 2 would equal 0. Now let's try another one. Let's say we have a negative 3 plus a negative 5. Just like before, when you had a positive 3 and a positive 5 that were red cubes, you could add the two red cubes together and get a positive 8. So now that we have two green cubes, we're going to take the negative 3 and add the negative 5, and we're going to say that that is equal to negative 8. Okay, not so tough. Here comes another example. Let's say this time we have, let me clear this off. Let's say we have a negative 3 again and a positive 5. Now, to make this problem a little easier to solve, I'm going to change the 5 to be a 3 and a 2, because 3 and 2 equal 5. So here comes a red 3 and a red 2. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm wondering what my next legal move could be, and I see that I have a green 3 and a red 3, and both of these two things are opposites. So if I were to take off a red 3 and a green 3, I would be taking off a 0 value, and that's a legal move. So let's take off this negative 3 and red 3, and I'm left with a positive 2. So again, negative 3 plus 5 equals a positive 2. Alright, let's try another problem. This time the problem is negative 10 subtract negative 5. So, I don't have a negative 10. I'm going to put a 2 and an 8 up here for a negative 10. And now I'm supposed to take off a negative 5. Subtract a negative 5. I don't see a negative 5 up here, so I'm actually going to change my 8 again, and I'm going to change that to a 5 and a 3, because that has a value of negative 8. And with this value here of negative 10, I'm now being told to subtract negative 5. So when I subtract negative 5, I'm left with an answer of negative 5. So negative 10 subtract negative 5 is just negative 5. Okay, we have one more example to do. Alright, in this example we're going to have a plus 5, so a red 5, and we're going to subtract a negative 3. Now, I don't have a negative 3 to subtract, to take off this board. So one thing we learned in the past was that we could add on 0 values. 0 values don't change the value of the board. So I'm going to add a 0 value with 3's. I have a negative 3 here and a positive 3, which is a 0 value. And now I can actually solve the problem. So the problem was 5, which is what this shows, because these two things are 0. 5 subtract negative 3. So I'm going to subtract, I'm going to take away a negative 3. 5 subtract negative 3 is in fact a positive 8. That's it for lesson 17.